Excuse me. American Fright Fest is a movie about a mayor who's trying to be reelected, so he forms a haunted Fright Fest to try and get votes. In the meantime, there is the director of the haunt. He gets into a crash with a prison bus where these two criminals escape, and they both break into the haunted attraction, and it's left up to the viewer and the characters in the movie to try and figure out which one is them killing people, even though anyone with a brain, it's clearly obvious. And that's pretty much it. So, I'm not gonna lie, I was actually really excited to watch this movie. It looked really looked really fun from the trailer, and I told myself that, yeah, this will be a good time. First things first, I gotta commend the movie for its actually really good cinematography. The cinematography is actually really freaking good in this movie. I think there are a few characters that I really did like, and I want to see them make it out. And overall, the production was really good, especially with the haunt and the things they were able to do with it. And overall, you know me, I like movies with the same concept as this, where it's like a haunted attraction or haunted maze or whatnot gone wrong. And you know, I gotta give props to the filmmakers. The mask and the killer was unique and cool, and at times there were some good practical effects, especially with the gore. Any gore hound's gotta like that. But that's all I can really say. This movie, unfortunately, was kind of boring. It dragged. There are a lot of scenes that happen in this film that just don't need to happen. There's like a 1 minute scene of no exposition being delivered, or there's no like interesting things going on. It's just a dude asking a girl if she can give him, he's asking her if she can give him a blowjob, and nothing is done with it. It's not funny. It literally could have been cut. You could have just, like, the whole point of the scene was that I guess was the director of the haunt is driving away, but you literally could have just filmed him getting in the car and driving away. That scene did not need to be there. It served no point, and it dragged. It was like a 2 minute scene that wasn't funny. And I'm just gonna say, the killer, while he looked cool, he didn't really do too many cool things. The only cool thing I could say that he did was that he set up traps for the haunt guests, but that's it, nothing else. He doesn't really do a lot, and he's not scary or really intimidating. The costume's pretty cool and pretty intimidating, but himself is he's just not that intimidating. And I don't know if the filmmakers were wanting to make him intimidating or not, but either way they failed if they were. Because there's literally a scene where he plays a carnival game to try and win a plushie, and he takes off his mask and he breaks the character that he's playing, the killer. And I didn't know how to feel about it. It was just weird. And not only that, but there's no main character for this film. So when the killer is chasing people, there are some characters that are introduced that we don't even know, and some characters that we know, but they're not the main character. There were only like maybe 2 or 3 characters that I liked because they had personality, and 2 of them died. Yip-de-doo. But it kind of made it hard for me to root for anyone. It was just a film where people get slashed and hacked in a maze, and an hour and 30 minutes, that was pretty boring. Not a lot happens. It's for 30 minutes, people are running and screaming, we got to do something. And the acting is not the best. There are times where it's okay, but it's not the best. And I'm sorry, the decision making in this movie is terrible. This guy has a shotgun, right? And he's like, we need to kill the person who's running the whole shebang. And they never just walk up to him and shoot him in the head. They always shoot him like the shoulder or the axe, or they shoot him in like the axe that he's holding. They shoot the axe instead of him. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, you must have terrible aim if you're shooting him in the shoulder like 20 times. And the guy keeps saying, we gotta kill him, we gotta kill him. But it's like, no, because the killer, in fact, they shoot him one time in the shoulder and he runs away. Because that guy's obviously scared of bullets. I mean, I think anyone is. So it's like, why not just try to find a way out instead of worrying about killing him? He's obviously scared by you because you have the gun, you have the upper hand. You guys can clearly take him and you guys are scared of him. And characters that, the filmmakers want you to care for when they die, that you just don't. And it's kind of sad because I want to, but I really don't. There's no main character. There's no main protagonist. There's no reason for me to care about these characters. Even the haunt director, who I thought was funny at first, just became a dick towards the end because he was trying to record the footage of people murdering, somehow thinking that's going to get him back on the spot. Because, you see, he's supposed to be this really brilliant filmmaker like John Carpenter or Wes Craven, and he's lost his touch, so he works at the haunt thinking that it'll get his career back up. But they obviously make him out to be a douchebag, like, kind of midway through. I was thinking, okay, he's gonna become a dude. But it's like, man, you have to be an idiot to think that recording, like, footage of people dying is gonna get you back on the spotlight, unless you sold it to the dark web or something. And overall, the twist was expected. I wasn't like, oh, that's a shocking twist. Wow. And by the end, when the movie ended, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, it's over. Overall, this movie was a disappointment because I really wanted to like it, but I didn't. And I'm sorry if my blank expression was boring instead of me waving my hands 24/7. But let me tell you something. That's how I felt while watching this movie. I wasn't engaged. There wasn't really a lot of fun to be had. It wasn't funny or like creative in any sort of way. It was just boring. It's not the worst thing I've seen, but if you're gonna ask me, would you rather watch Hellfest, which is not a great film, but it's a good slasher film. Like that movie's like a B+. This movie's like a D+. It's like, if you're gonna tell me which one would I rather watch, I obviously choose Hellfest. Even some people who don't like that movie say that, like, they'll watch it because it's a good, fun Halloween film, You wouldn't watch this, and I don't recommend you do, but maybe, because I know some people like it. I got nothing.